This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Russia's parliament approved on Thursday a bill that widens a prohibition of LGBT propaganda and restricts the demonstration of LGBT behavior, making any expression of an LGBT lifestyle almost impossible. Under the new law, which still needs the approval of the upper house of parliament and President Vladimir Putin, any action or information that is considered an attempt to promote homosexuality, whether in public, online, or in films, books, or advertising, could incur a heavy fine. Previously, the law had outlawed only promotion of LGBT lifestyles aimed at children. The new bill also bans the demonstration of LGBT behavior to children. Lawmakers say they are defending traditional values of the Russian world against a liberal West they say is determined to destroy them. An argument also increasingly being used by officials as one of the justifications for Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. Authorities have already used the existing law to stop gay pride marches and detain gay rights activists. Right groups say the new law is intended to drive so-called non-traditional LGBT lifestyles practiced by lesbians, gay men, bisexuals, and transgender people out of public life altogether. Venezuela's government and opposition will resume political talks on Saturday, Norway's foreign ministry has confirmed, as negotiations aimed at finding a way out of the country's complex crisis were stalled for more than a year. Norway, which is facilitating the discussions in Mexico, said on Thursday that the parties would sign a partial agreement on social matters. Previous talks were suspended in October 2021 by the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, upset by the United States' extradition of a businessman with ties to his administration. The negotiations are expected to focus on the humanitarian aid program for the cash-strapped nation, as well as on conditions for a presidential election planned for 2024. Representatives of Maduro and the opposition, including the faction backed by the US and led by Juan Guaido, will likely also discuss a US extension for oil giant Chevron to operate in Venezuela amid spiraling global energy costs. Armed groups in Colombia are confining people to their homes and communities in a bid to exert control over territory, said the Norwegian Refugee Council, which called on the authorities to do more to ensure citizens can move freely. The NRC said on Thursday that millions of people are affected by 6 ongoing non-international armed conflicts in which armed groups use confinement to exert control over isolated communities and territories that are often used for illicit activities. Thursday marks the 6-year anniversary of a peace deal between Bogota and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, that saw members of the left-wing rebel group lay down their weapons, but some FARC dissidents rejected the agreement and have picked up arms again. Violence has surged in Colombia since the signing of the accord, especially in parts of the country that lay outside government control and where armed groups are involved in drug trafficking and other illicit activities. Last weekend, at least 18 people died in fighting involving FARC dissidents and a criminal band that calls itself Comandos de la Frontera, or Border Commandos, in southwest Colombia, near the border with Ecuador. The two groups were battling for control of drug trafficking routes. The incident marked the deadliest fight between illegal armed groups since left-wing Colombian President Gustavo Petro took office in August. Ghana's government is working on a new policy where gold rather than US dollar reserves will be used to buy oil products, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia said on Facebook on Thursday. The move is meant to tackle dwindling foreign currency reserves coupled with demand for dollars by oil importers, which is weakening the local cedi and increasing living costs. Ghana's gross international reserves stood at around $6.6 billion at the end of September 2022, equating to less than 3 months of import cover. That is down from a stock position of around $9.7 billion at the end of last year, according to the government. If implemented as planned for the first quarter of 2023, the new policy, in quote, will fundamentally change our balance of payments and significantly reduce the persistent depreciation of our currency, Bawumia said. Using gold would prevent the exchange rate from directly impacting fuel or utility prices, as domestic sellers would no longer need foreign exchange to import oil products, he explained. Bawumia's announcement was posted as Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced measures to cut spending and boost revenues in a bid to tackle a spiraling debt crisis. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first man to score at 5 FIFA World Cups as Portugal began their campaign with a thrilling victory over Ghana. Ronaldo was playing for the first time since his controversial television interview last week and a subsequent release by Manchester United following the comments, and the 37-year-old scored the opening goal from the penalty spot, hammering in after being tripped in the box by Ghana's Southampton defender Mohamed Salisu. Captain Ronaldo had a couple of chances early on, but a low shot was smothered by Lawrence Atizigi, and he also headed wide at the far post. The forward had a goal disallowed for a push on Alexander Djiku, while at the other end, Ghana did not have a single shot in the opening period. The Africans improved in the second period as Mohamed Kudus drilled narrowly wide of the far post and got their reward when Andre Ayew equalized from close range, but Portugal responded with 2 goals in 2 minutes to seal the point, Joao Felix converting a delightfully clipped finish and substitute Rafael Leao coolly stroking in just seconds after coming on. That is the size of top accolade global news update. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Friday!